So really quite a cool 40k release today. Looks like Games Workshop are finally redoing the Inquisitorial Henchman, a bodyguard for the Inquisition in glorious plastic. Let's take a look at these fancy new miniatures. Hello and welcome back to Warspets Tactics, where today we're talking about one of the latest 40k Warhammer Fest reveals, and this time it seems that Games Workshop is finally giving a bit of love to the Inquisitorial acolytes and agents, part of their range that's just been gradually declining for a long time now. A few ancient miniatures in the past that have been gradually pulled from their range. These guys are basically the group of oddballs and specialists that Inquisitors gather together to accompany them across the stars, a bunch of individuals particularly useful for one given task. And they've been one of the units that's been rumoured for the Inquisition for really quite a while now, as well. I've been told that these guys are coming by multiple people for the best part of a year. Let's talk through the miniatures in the Kill Team, and then how they're going to be actually released, and how soon we're going to be able to get our hands on them. First up, it looks like the new kit for 40k is this Inquisitorial Agents one. The pictures that Games Workshop has been putting up for them are maybe just a little bit on the deceptive side. Again, they're doing that thing where they showcase all the builds of the kits, but actually put more models in the picture. The picture does say 7 in the box, and that does tally with the amount of miniatures that they're advertising in this new Kill Team kit. There's going to be 40 miniatures in the big box when we get it, and these will be 7 of them. I guess the kit itself is designed to make a custom little retinue for your Inquisitor to go adventuring across the stars. Currently in 40k we've got a flexible acolyte datasheet that allows a fair range of equipment, particularly things like special weapons like plasmas and melters. In the past the retinue rules really were quite freeform, and you could have all sorts of other things like Death Cult Assassins and Servitors. It looks like this might be a bit more of a return to that sort of nature, and it'll be fun to see their datasheet when they get one. We'll take a look at these specialists individually one by one, but apparently the idea is that you'll get 7 models in the box, and 4 of them will be able to build alternate models. Those ones will all share legs and bodies with other ones in the set. I'm not 100% sure if their 7 miniatures does include that skull book thing. I guess this picture would kind of imply it, to be honest. If these are the 7 models and they're 4 alternative builds, then that's 11 including the skull. You can see a few of the ones that share parts, like the chaps who have the skull dangling over their right thigh, the icon guy and the priest guy, plus the chaps on the bottom left and the top right. I guess if you could get some other legs from somewhere, maybe a cheaper 40k kit, or just any spares that you might have from the bits box, you could probably kit bash the remaining 4, I suspect. Looking through the miniatures, it looks like the nominal leader of the squad is this interrogator. There isn't actually an Inquisitor in this box. These are more supposed to be a retinue for an Inquisitor. Apparently this guy is supposed to be an Inquisitor in training or something like that, not quite earned his stripes. There is a gun servitor in the box. Here this guy's modelling a plasma cannon. Apparently he comes with the 3 standard servitor weapon options, so I guess either this, a heavy bolter, or a multi-melter. Quite cool to have a new plastic version of those, seeing as we've been reliant on the metal ones for a while as well. Then we've got this guy who's a Deathworld veteran. This guy answers a couple of the rumour engine posts that we've had previously. Games Workshop decided to show off both ends of the spear in 2 different rumour engines, this one being a Gland Warrior type spear. The miniature is a Deathworld veteran that's apparently modelled on a Sergeant Stone from the previous Inquisition RPG. I believe that quite a lot of these characters are basically throwbacks to that old out-of-production role-playing game version of Warhammer 40k. They had a bunch of specialist miniatures from across the 40k spectrum. This guy on the right is apparently called an Enlightener. He fights with dual blades, and it looks like he is the dual build with the Interrogator, judging by that coat with the skull buttons on it. Then I'm sure people in the comments will be able to identify these a bit better than me, but we've got some sort of nomad ganger type person with a chainsaw and a hand flamer, an Inquisitorial acolyte who's blindfolded and carrying the icon of the retinue, and I think judging by the skull that's hanging over the right thigh plus the apron type thing that they've got on, that'll be a dual build with this priest guy on the right with the shotgun. Then we've got a lady with a great big eviscerator. Not sure exactly where she fits in Inquisitorial hierarchy. Don't really want to get in her way though if she gets angry. Some chap is fighting with dual pistols, both a plasma pistol and some sort of stub carbine type thing. They've got some red robes on, don't know if that implies Mechanicus in some way. And then they've got this auto savant guy, no doubt recording things very carefully for the Inquisitor's eyes only. Definitely feels like a very classic 40k art miniature, that one. Then we've got the little servo skull holding the book with a candle on it, kind of interested as to what that might do in game. Overall, I think the Games Workshop have done really quite well with these. I suspect that they will get some 10th edition Warhammer 40k rules and get their own data card as an Inquisitorial retinue that he can lead. It looks like from one of their prior previews that we do get a data card set for the Imperial Agents. I'd guess that these guys are going to be our new Acolytes. I kind of wonder how in depth they're going to go with the individual rules for the miniatures. You could potentially have a very complicated data sheet here if you wanted to, if they all do interesting different special things. The way that they're released is a bit interesting and different as well compared with previous Kill Team things. Rather than it just literally being a small warband versus another small warband, this time we've got a box that doesn't have any terrain in it, but the miniatures that you get on both sides are a bit more hefty. It's going to be coming in a box called Kill Team Ashes of Faith, and this one is apparently coming out in the very near future and before 10th edition comes out. That's going to be sometime in May to mid-June, I suppose. In the box set you get this Inquisitorial Kill Team, which I guess builds 7 models, plus 5 Sisters of Silence and 5 Tempestus Scions. The idea is that for the Kill Team rules, you take the Inquisitorial Henchmen, and then they recruit 5 other Imperial soldiers to go alongside them. You can either use the Scions or the Sisters, or to recruit other Kill Teams like Adeptus Arbites, the Kazakin or the Veteran Guardsmen. It does mean that potentially when we get a datasheet for them, we could see this Kill Team mixed in alongside some Tempestus Scions, for example. I feel like maybe they're the best fit. Inquisitorial Stormtroopers have been a thing for a very long time now, and I've always felt that the Tempestus Scions do fit in rather well with the Inquisitorial aesthetic, or looking quite baroque. In the box, those miniatures will be facing down a whole bunch of chaos. In the kit there'll be the Dark Commune sets, the Chaos Cultist mob, and the Accursed Cultists, basically a trio of different units that came out alongside the latest Chaos Space Marine Codex. Quite nice miniatures as they go, and not too bad to get them in a place that'll be effectively discounted, I suspect. The idea is for the Kill Team rules for this is that you start out with some Chaos Cultists alongside your Dark Commune, and then those Chaos Cultists can mutate and upgrade themselves over the course of the game, becoming mutants and then torments if the Chaos Gods smile down on them in a particularly favourable light. Sounds like quite a fun little mechanic, and definitely shaking things up a fair bit compared with standard Kill Team forces. The box has a little bit of backstory as well, set on the world of Exaltus, a mining world of 500 million people, harbouring a small chaos cult that the Inquisitorial Strike Force has been dispatched to try and take down discreetly. It's not part of the Gallowdark campaign series and is basically its own standalone offering, and as I mentioned it's going to be coming out sometime over the next few weeks. I'd guess that due to effectively having 6 different kits in the box, it's probably going to be the same price as the other Kill Team offerings, but you just get quite a lot more miniatures and no terrain. It means that these could effectively be discounted compared with standard 40k offerings, though I must admit the unit mix is kind of weird. If you were buying these to use in 40k, the Chaos stuff is all really quite condensed, could certainly be useful to a Chaos Space Marine player, though the Inquisitorial forces are split between 3 different factions. Still though, definitely quite fun, and I feel like they've realised the Inquisitorial miniatures pretty well. Will be interesting to see how they're released individually. I wouldn't be too surprised if it's the Inquisitorial force alongside 5 Scions, for example. Finally, they did give us a small teaser as to where Kill Team is going in the future. The Gallowdark and Ashes of Faith are both going to be in spring. Again, I guess that would tie in pretty well with May to early June. Then they're going to follow that up with any of the Kill Teams that haven't seen individual releases, things like the Votan and the Beastmen from the Gallowdark, and do a Kill Team annual for 2023. Then we'll be leaving the Space Hulk behind for a new season of Kill Team with some different rules variations. This apparently is going to be some sort of narrative progression from the Gallowdark and the planet that it crashes towards. They had a little teaser trailer that said that there'd be some Eldari coming. I'd guess most likely a Craft World or maybe Harlequin Kill Team. So far I think that we've just had the Corsairs and the Drukhari for the Eldar so far. Let me know what you make of the Inquisitorial Henchmen though. Do the miniatures do well enough to fit the bill if you do want a retinue for your Inquisitor? Look forward to hearing your thoughts on the miniatures down in the comments. If you've enjoyed the video and you'd like to keep up with Games Workshop's news and releases, then feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics. I'll certainly keep the regular 40k videos coming, with new ones out just about every day. Finally, if you have been enjoying all the videos on the channel and you'd like to help support, I would just like to mention that Auspex Tactics does have a Patreon page too, and you can find that linked in the video description below. Channel patrons do get a fair few advantages, seeing certain videos early, regular votes to see what sort of things come next on the channel, and automatic entry into the regular prize giveaways with a chance to win some big model kits each month. If any of that sounds good to you or you'd just like to help support, the link is down in the video description. In any case, an enormous thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.